boys? Today we are back, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the fights to make after UFC Perth, after Prates just smirked out JDM in the third round. Great main card. Undercard was a little underwhelming. I'm not going to be going over every single person. I am just going to be going over the main card fighters. Not even all the main card fighters, just, majority of the ones that actually deserve to, be talked about. So we're going to get things started right off. Tai Tuivasa, it's time for you to retire. There's generally just no spot left for you in the UFC, or even fighting, like anything to do with wrestling. It's just absolutely out of the question. Tai Tuivasa genuinely has the worst takedown defense in UFC history. Like I genuinely can't think, like, who has worse takedown defense? Like, genuinely. Seriously, who has worse takedown defense? Who do you know right now that you can say has worse takedown defense than Tai Tuivasa? You genuinely can't think of it. CM Punk? Like, I didn't even watch CM Punk, so I don't even know. But, like this dude, Tai Tuivasa, I don't know what he does in his training camps. I don't know how he didn't address this over, a 7-fight losing streak. But here we are. He just can't fight in MMA anymore. He just can't. So he needs to go to, like, boxing, BKFC, dirty boxing, some shit where, like, he has no threat of getting a takedown, because he, everyone still loves him. Obviously we wanted him to see him win. We wanted to see him get a stay in the UFC because he is a big star. Everyone loves him. Who doesn't love Tai Tuivasa? So it sucks, but he is going to get cut, and he should either just retire and like do some fun online shit to make money, or just go to, like, BKFC and start scrapping dudes and, like, knock dudes out in 10 seconds. So yeah, sad as it is, Tai Tuivasa, he's done in the UFC. Moving on, Shamil Gaziev lost to Brando Percic on the main card. I think him versus Ryan Span's a good fight. Ryan Span's on a 2-fight win streak at heavyweight, won 3 out of his last 4 at heavyweight. Used to be a big name in light heavyweight. So I see this fight happening. Shamil's probably going to drop down a few spots. He was ranked 12th, so he's probably going to go down to, like, 14th, 15th. And Ryan Span's just outside of the rankings, looking to get, a ranked name. Both of these guys are semi-big names. Gaziev, everyone loves the Blob. And Ryan Span obviously is known for his days at light heavyweight being ranked, knocking out fucking Johnny Walker with a jab. Knocking out Dom Reyes with a jab. So I think this makes sense. Why do I keep wanting to call him Johnny Walker? Ryan Span looking for a step up. Shamil the Blob Gaziev looking, to get back on track after a TKO loss to Brando Percic, who we're going to talk about next. Brando Percic did beat Tai Tuivasa pretty impressively. This dude's going to be a player, like I said. I genuinely think this dude's going to be top 5 at heavyweight. Yes, he was getting tagged by Shamil, but Shamil's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Shamil does have hands, so... Brando Percic called for that UFC Serbia card. He wants to fight on there again. What better than a guy who's, like, close to Serbia, European, Balkan fucking nation guy, Ante Delia. He's ranked, like, in the top 10. This is a great step up for Percic, who's now going to be ranked after beating Gaziev. So step up for Brando Percic. He's going to take on a decent, not legend, a vet of the game, an unk of the game. So yeah, I think this is a great step up. And for Delia, I think he's on a 2-fight skid. Or did he win his last fight? I know he lost to Waldo. I think that might be his last fight. Yeah. I think he got put out by Waldo in his last fight. So he's looking to get back on track. Percic, relatively unknown. Like, he's only got 3 wins in the UFC, but they're against decent guys outside the rankings. But still, I don't know. This just makes most sense. Both guys, Percic, obviously with that, like, Balkan last name, wants to fight on the Serbia card. Fucking Delia, like, from the fucking Serbian area. So I say make this fight. I don't think Delia has a matchup, or does he? Is Delia fighting someone? I don't think so, but he might be. But anyway, run this fight at UFC Serbia and, like, the featured fight, or this could be a decent feature fight, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, run this matchup. Percic looked good. And let's move on. The winner of the 4th fight on the main card, Marwan Rahiki. He's going to be a player at featherweight, and him versus Andre Fili would just be a banger matchup. I don't know if this makes sense. Rahiki hasn't fought really anybody. Like, he fought George Hardwick and then a guy on 3 days' notice. So this might be too big of a step up for Rahiki, but I just think this would be a fun fight. Fili doesn't really have it anymore. He still hits hard. He still can get KOs. So, and Marwan Rahiki's, like, really crazy. Keeps his chin up in the air. So this could be a winnable fight for Fili. I just think they'd go to war. I think it'd be fun. This is, like, a guaranteed finish in my book between either one of them. And yeah, I think this is a good step up for Rahiki at this point. Maybe too big of a step up. I'm not sure. Maybe they keep giving him a few cans. Yeah, I just thought, when I was looking at the rankings, I just thought this would be a fun fight to make. If Rahiki wins this, he'll get even more fans. He's pretty, and over in Australia, I guess people, are really high on him. So I don't know if he'll ever be anything in the sport, like top 10 or anything, just because his defense is pretty bad. And he's too wild, but that's what makes him fun. We love wild guys. We love guys that stay on the feet and try to, bomb each other out. So I think this would be a great fight. Feely versus Rahiki. Feely just doesn't really, Feely's just, let's just get Feely in fun fights for the rest of his career. And this would be an absolute banger in my opinion. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense at 145. Book this fight. Maybe for this could go on a pay-per-view, like maybe Abu Dhabi. That's closer for Rahiki traveling from Australia. Abu Dhabi, like a September. Just put this on a pay-per-view. This is like a nice featured prelim. Like the last prelim before the pay-per-view starts, or like one below that. Maybe on like the prelims of a pay-per-view, this would be a banger. Or in like a co-main of a crowded fight night, I could see it happening. Don't put this shit in the Apex because this is too good for the Apex. But yeah, moving on. Tim Elliott did lose to Steve Erceg. He's still going to be ranked. He's still going to be in like the top 12. And I think he should fight Alan Nascimento. Nascimento's fighting Mitch Raposa, which is just insane matchmaking from the UFC. I think that fight's happening on, it's either May 16th or June 6th. It's in the Apex. It's either on the Arnold Allen Melky Costa card or the Gabriel Bonfim versus Bilal card on June 6th. It's either on one of those, but I do think Alan Nascimento is going to win that fight. Shoot the box prospect. He's on like a 4-fight winning streak. Trains with Charles Oliveira. I think he will get past Mitch Raposo easily, either by sub or by decision. And then I think he should get a ranked opponent. He'll be 5-0 outside of the rankings, or 4-0, I can't remember. Either 4 or 5-0 outside of the rankings. Give him a step up. Give him give him a vet like Tim Elliott to see if he's ready for the rankings. I think this fight makes a lot of sense, especially, if Alan Nascimento somehow loses to Mitch Raposo, this fight is just like down the drain. Because like if he loses to Mitch Raposo, he's just not ready for the top 15. So yeah, I think if Alan Nascimento wins against Mitch Raposa on either May 16th or June 6th, I can't remember what it is, then he should fight Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott doesn't fight too often, so timing somewhat matches up. So end of the year, make this fight. This could go in the Apex. This could really go anywhere, just not on a main card of anywhere, right? But yeah, this fight makes a lot of sense. Give Alan Nascimento, Charles Oliveira's great friend, a step up in the rankings. Let's see if he'll be something at 125. Moving on, Steve Erceg did win. Fuck it. Put him versus Amir Albazi. Amir Albazi is still somehow ranked like 7th or 6th, maybe 8th, but Steve Erceg really did drop down the rankings after losing 3 straight. Lost to Pantoja, lost to Kai Kara France, which is a horrible loss in hindsight, and then lost to Brandon Moreno, which is also a really bad loss in hindsight, but yeah, Steve Erceg's probably going to be like 12th, 11th, 10th. Albazi's like 6th, 7th, or 8th. So I think this is the next logical step. I do think Albazi, has a chance to win this. I probably would favor Erceg in this, but Albazi coming off like I think 2 losses in a row, maybe 3, but I think 2 losses in a row. So give him Erceg. Looking, it makes sense ranking wise. Erceg gets a step up. Albazi step down after he's lost a few in a row. So I think this fight makes a lot of sense. I could see like this being like a co-main on a fight night. I low-key could see the UFC main eventing this in the Apex. I'm not gonna lie. This screams like a September, October, fucking November Apex fucking fight night main event. Which I don't even want to think about that reality, but I could see that happening. So, in my opinion, make this on like a fucking fight night, like crowded fight night co-main or feature fight. But I could see the UFC making this a main event. But this is the next step in my opinion. And if Steve Erceg wins this, throw him back into the top 5. And let's see how he does. Moving on, Beneil Dariush unfortunately lost. I picked him to win. It was a dumb pick in hindsight. He just doesn't have the chin for the game anymore. Yeah, I think Beneil Dariush should retire. I was going to put him against like a Grant Dawson, like someone who's like not that good outside of the rankings. But then I'm like thinking, Beneil Dariush is probably still going to be ranked like 14th or 15th, maybe 13th. So, like, why are we giving Grant Dawson the opportunity to get a jump up in the rankings? I was going to put him versus Rafa Garcia. Like, why are we giving Rafa Garcia a chance to get up into the rankings? Like, no one wants to see that shit. So, I'm going to feed him to Fares Ziem in his retirement fight. I'm sorry, Dariush. You are going to get slept by Ziem. Ziem is fighting Tom Nolan on, again, it's June 6th. He's fighting Tom Nolan on the Bilal versus Bonfim card. So the timing matches up pretty well. Just a month difference. Beneil Dariush is probably going to be out for a while after getting slimed again. I say make this in like December after Ziem gets past Tom Nolan, which he will because Tom Nolan has no fucking does not deserve to fight a top 15 ranked opponent. That's fucking insane. Tom Nolan's not that good. I think Verestiam actually schools him. So after Verestiam wins, book these two in December. And on the December pay-per-view in Vegas, like they usually do, give Beneil Dariush his retirement fight. Give him a fucking fight package. Let's send him off the right way. Well, not in the right way, because I do think Ziam probably slams him out. But, let's give Beneil Dariush one more fight. He should genuinely just he should have hung it up against Quillen Salkeld in Australia. The fans probably would have got behind him. But, he didn't say he's retiring. So I say one more for Beneil. He's done a lot of good things in the sport. I'm sorry Charles Oliveira had to basically end your career, but it had to happen. My boy Charles needed that victory in Canada. But yeah, make this fight. Makes a lot of sense. And Dariush, only one more. And hopefully you go out on a win, but I don't think you will. Moving on, Quillen Salkeld didn't win, unfortunately, just because I'm not a big fan of him. He called out Gamrot, and I think they're going to make that fight. They hate Gamrot. They always give Gamrot, they never give Gamrot anyone above him. They're going to make this fight. Like, genuinely, they're going to make this fight. I think this could main event. This could main event, this could main event anything, really. This could main event an Apex card. This could main event a crowded fight night, in my opinion. And this could be like the first fight on a pay-per-view. Featured prelim, maybe. Fourth fight on a pay-per-view, somewhere in that range. I think this fight makes sense. Quillen Salkeld, he's going to be ranked like 11th or 12th. Gamrot's always around that 6, 7, 8 range. So, and the UFC just despises Gamrot and thinks he's boring as shit. Like the UFC genuinely thinks that. So, I don't see them giving Gamrot anyone above him. So yeah, I think they're gonna make this fight. I think they're gonna honor the call out of Quillen Salkeld, and he's a big star. Like honestly, I fuck with Salkeld. Like outside of on the mic and like outside of the cage, I do fuck with Salkeld. I just don't think he's that good. I think the UFC. I think UFC fans glaze the fuck out of him. I just don't see him beating. I think Gamrot wins this fight. I genuinely think Gamrot wins this fight. I think he beats him in the grappling like 30-27. I'm genuinely serious. And I know people say fucking Salkeld has great ground skills, but I just don't see it. I just need to see. If he beats Gamrot, I'll start believing in him. And it's nothing against the dude, because I actually fuck with him heavy, but I don't get the glaze. I just don't understand the glaze. But if he goes out there and beats Gamrot, then I'll change my mind completely. But yeah, Quillen Salkeld called out Gamrot. I think it's the fight to make. Either this is a main event or a pay-per-view worthy fight. So yeah, book this fight. Moving on to the main event. JDM did lose. Book him against Joaquin Buckley versus Sean Brady, winner. Yes, winner, not loser. And I do think Joaquin Buckley is going to beat Sean Brady. I'll get to that later this week in my predictions. I just don't think Sean Brady, I'm done believing in Sean Brady, let's be real. I'm just done believing in him. So I do think Joaquin Buckley's going to win that fight. JDM's going to need some time off. He's not that. That's the thing. Joaquin Buckley said he wants to be active. If he beats Sean Brady, I'm guessing he's going to want to return like summertime, August, September. I don't know if JDM's going to be ready by then, but maybe JDM will want to get back in there, but he just took a fucking fuck ton of damage, so I'm not sure, but I think this is logical. JDM's going to move down a few spots to like 2 or 3. Joaquin Buckley's going to be like 6th, 7th, 8th, so 5th maybe. So yeah, I think Buckley's going to beat Brady, and then I think you make JDM versus the winner. If Sean Brady wins, I say make Sean Brady versus JDM. That's got a horrible stylistic matchup for JDM, especially if Sean Brady goes out there and looks good against Joaquin Buckley. But yeah, I do think Buckley will probably edge that one. So JDM versus the winner of Joaquin versus Sean Brady. Timeline matches up great. I'm just scared of JDM's inactivity, that he might not, come back as soon as Joaquin Buckley wants to fight. But yeah, I think this is logical next step for my boy JDM. I do fuck with JDM heavy, so I hope he gets a win. I do kind of fuck with Buckley too, but I like JDM way more. So I'd hope JDM wins this fight. And who do I actually think wins the fight? Probably JDM, but I don't know. I think JDM's confidence is genuinely shot. I think it's a real big confidence issue. After that loss to Islam, I feel like his confidence went way down. What the fuck do I know, though? I'm not in his brains. But I would want JDM to win. I think he probably would, but not sure. Moving on, main event, Carlos Prates won. He's going to be like this number 2 in the rankings. This is a no-brainer. Everyone's saying make this fight. Ariel, MMA Guru, Bedtime said it's a nice, next fight. Like, genuinely every single buddy. Like, this is the sky blue? Yes. Like, this fight is obviously the next fight to make. Islam versus Ian Gary is happening in August. Islam's not going to fight probably till 2027 after that. He's a 1 fight a year type of guy. So yeah, he's going to be out till 2027. I don't think Carlos Prates is going to want to wait at least a year till he fights for the belt. I doubt Michael Morales wants to wait. Michael Morales posted a picture of Carlos Prates and him on his Instagram story. Like, you just got to make this fight main event of a fight night later in the year if they go to like some South American city, or like if they go back to Florida or something. or co-main. This has got to be either main event of a crowded fight night or co-main on a pay-per-view. This is co-main pay-per-view worthy. I hope it's 5 rounds. Co-main of a pay-per-view 5-rounder, that would be ideal. In like, I don't know, September, November, MSG, Prates, Morales, MSG, where they both had big victories last year. That'll be a year off for Morales though. Fuck it, like September. I don't see these guys fighting in Abu Dhabi. Like, what's the point of these guys fighting in Abu Dhabi, you know? But maybe either September or November for this fight. It'll be a huge fight. I do think Carlos Prates probably wins. I'm not gonna lie. I think this dude's genuinely just fucking insane power. He's one of my favorite new fighters easily. So yeah, I think Carlos Prates probably wins this fight. But who knows? Michael Morales is ginormous. So this would be an insane fight. 2 Latin American guys going at it. Make this as a co-main event, 5-round co-main on a pay-per-view. And yeah, whoever wins this fights for the title next against Islam Makhachev or Ian Gary. But I think Islam's probably going to handle Ian Gary pretty easily. So let me know what you guys think of my matchups in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.